Well, Sumit, uh, thank you so much for helping with my project. Could you say a little bit about yourself?
So I am a senior high school student from Nepal, and currently I have just like it was my exam today and just passed my grade 11th, and I'm also excited and interested in astronomy, and I think I will pursue my career in computer science or physics.
And what got you interested in physics?
So the really I the essence of physics, which is like the equations and the big names, the big researchers who have like I didn't had a pretty good experience with physics and all. Till 10, we are only taught science. It included chemistry, physics, and all. So the things were basic. But when I got into class grade 11, then the course load increased. When I used to sit in my class and listen to the lectures, every question that I have asked to my parents, everything kind of being like answered in that the lectures that teachers were giving the answers, the reasons behind the thing really kind of answered my question that I had for like about 5 to 6 years. So I think that that was the moment when I felt, yeah, physics is the thing which could answer all my questions. So I pretty liked how the physics made made sense to me, because earlier than these questions were kind of out of reach of my relatives or my parents capabilities, or uh, like they couldn't answer some. They tried, but their theories were wrong. But when I got the grasp of physics, then I thought, yeah, that's something pretty good that can answer all my questions. So uh, I think from there I got interested in physics.
Um, and not everybody has a good understanding of physics. There's a lot of people who have kind of wrong ideas about how the world works.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I guess based upon your experience, what do you see as being the most common misunderstood thing that people get wrong about physics?
So the pretty misunderstood thing, what I like, I haven't gone into and talked with seniors, but what I have seen in my peers, that they really took physics as a kind of burden, and they really think of the numericals. They only think of passing the exam. They kind of not engage with physics. How, like, if we see uh, like what I think is with physics we can predict our future. My friends used to use the kinematics for just answering the numericals in the exam, but what I see is when we throw a ball, I can predict where it is gonna land. So this is what I feel wrong about like how people misunderstood it, because they they kind of take physics as a something a subject that can make them like bring them grades and that's it. But physics is damn interesting, uh, like what I have learned from my experience.
Yeah, you're saying that it actually has a connection to the real world.
Yeah.
So have you studied gravity much?
Can you give me a moment? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sister came just from uh, like she was out and I have to go and uh, take her. So like, can you repeat your question for me once again?
Yes. Have you studied gravity?
uh, like not in depth, because I just passed my grade 11. So gravity is is in our curriculum, but it is not in so depth which I can do and go like which I can read and do my research. So like, but I have learned about gravity in surface level. Like if you talk, if it's just a gravity, then it's basically the force by which a heavenly body attracts one body towards its center. So what that is what gravity is, which like our curriculum has taught that much, nothing else. It's just like a definition and just a formulas. So, because like if you compare the US curriculum with the Nepalese curriculum, we really lack practicalism and the in-depth research in that. We just focus on our grades, how can we get there, like get those, uh, just just study for the exams, not for life. So that is what Nepalese curriculum follows, and that I think should be changed.
Oh, well, I have sort of two physics questions for you.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't want to answer them, or if
No, I will try my best. Yeah.
so the first one is there gravity in space?
So not the gravitational force, is gravity, right?
What's the difference? I guess terms are very important in physics, right? To be very
Yeah.
precise about what we're talking about.
Yeah. So like gravity and gravitational force are a huge, has a huge difference in them, because as I said, gravity is just the force by which a heavenly body attracts one body towards its center. But if you are talking about the gravitational force, then it's the like the attractive force between two heavenly bodies. Like if you compare sun and like the if you think about like the sun and the earth, then sun have a gravitational force on us. But uh, and like how can I say that, like the gravitational force is just like if we are talking about a comet from the Oort cloud. So like the sun's gravitational force is weak because the distance of the sun and the uh, comet in the Oort cloud. But if you are talking about the gravitational force from like between the sun and the earth, and that is quite big as compared to what we are comparing to the suns and the comet. So there is where gravity and gravitational force come in the difference, that gravitational force is the attractive force, but like gravitational force can be like it's the attractive force, but the gravity is the force by which a pull force, you can say that, like how like mm, by which by how much force a heavenly body can pull you towards its center. So that is what gravity is. But gravitational force is like this body can also pull and this body can also pull, but gravity is like, yeah, just one body can pull, because like that is why the formulas are also different, because the gravitational force formula is G and double M, like the mass of one body and the mass of another body. But while talking about gravity, then it's just a mass of one body. So that's what in summary, if you like, I kind of explain a bit much and like uh, rush towards the answer. So that is one weakness of me, and I think I will work upon that. So uh yeah, so I was in so yeah, in summary, if we say that, then gravitational force is acts between two bodies. uh, yeah, so gravitational force is made by the two bodies, by the presence of two bodies, but gravity is produced, gravity can be produced only by a single body. So yeah. And about your question, then is gravity present in the space? So I think uh, gravitational force and its curve, the space time. If we are talking about going far from yeah, if you're talking about going far from a planet, or from like getting a keeping something a large distance between them, the gravitational force acts, but the gravity, I think it won't act, because uh, gravity have kind of a certain limit to which it can extend to, because uh, because if it's the case, then that is why we can go and escape the Earth's velocity. Like if we can escape the Earth's gravity and then get into like so like if you compare Earth and the Moon, then the gravity acts in a certain curvature around the Earth. Like if it's the Earth, then it might just act in this area. But if we go far from away, like far from that particular area, that far from that region, then I think we wouldn't feel the uh, gravity of the Earth, but we can feel the force of like gravitational force, but not the gravity. And if you're talking about Earth and Moon, then there is a null point where there's we cannot even feel the Earth's gravity and the Moon's gravity. So that's come there. And if we go past the north, like the null point, then we get into the gravity of Moon, the curvature around the Moon, where we can like where Moon can pull us toward itself. So I think gravity is in the space, but only in a certain curvature around a heavenly.
Yeah, last little part you kind of touched on the L1 Lagrangian point, which is that place between two bodies where the gravity between them balances out. So they're, as you get closer to the moon, the gravitational force of the Earth becomes less and less, but the gravitational force of the moon becomes more and more. And at some point, there's that place where it's the two forces balance and pull equally on you.
Yeah, it's balanced equally. Yeah.
So why do astronauts on the space station float around?
So they actually like people say that they are floating because of there is no gravity, but that's not the case. Like they are in a microgravity condition, not the zero gravity condition. So microgravity, it means they are between three. They are feeling the force of like 3 to 1 meter per second square, I think, and like they are constantly revolving. So they are like if you think if we are talking about the ISS, then the ISS is not revolving, it's falling. Actually it's falling, but since it has greater velocity, so it kind of passes like it if there's earth and it's falling, but it has a really great velocity, so it kind of moves like that goes around the earth. So there is where the centrifugal and centripetal force come in. So the centrifugal force, that is uh, the centrifugal force and the centrifugal force kind of balances each other, and that is why there comes the free fall. It's like they are in a constant free fall, and that is why they float, but they are not in a perfect zero gravity condition.
So I flew on a plane, and the plane, I don't know if you can see my hand, but the plane flew like this, like in these big parabolas.
Oh yeah,
And
the vomit comet. Yeah.
yes, I've flown in something equivalent to the vomit cloud, and I got to float around. Um, and but only like 30 seconds at a time, because
Yeah.
the plane would have to pull back up. Otherwise we crash. That would be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got a question. What is the difference between the feeling I had of floating versus the floating that the astronauts do?
Yeah, that's a pretty good question. And the I think the reason is because when you are on the plane, then it get a really high angle, and it rises quite uh, high, and then the angle of attack is not what normal planes do. It kind of it's like 51, now it is 45 degrees. Yeah, the angle of attack is 45 degrees, what I think. And so when it falls, it matches the velocity, the acceleration of the, like the acceleration of the falling plane, and the acceleration due to gravity balances each other, and that is where you kind of uh, you are in a free fall, and this is why uh, you feel weightlessness and you float. And because since it hasn't like it hasn't rose that much, and uh, since the, like, how can I say that? So since the distance between the ground and what the plane can reach is comparatively small than the distance between the ISS and the Earth. So that is 550 compared to about 10 to 11 kilometers. So since it is falling, your time will be about 30 seconds or 32 or 40 seconds. So but if you are quite high and then you are falling, so then you got some time. And since I said that the speed of the ISS is about 17,500 miles per hour, so that really uh, kind of, okay, yeah, I think I got it. So since ISS is uh, in a, like it is a it is in a great speed, which is 17,500 miles per hour. So it, and ISS is in a horizontal path, and since it is falling, so if it is a horizontal path and it is falling, then it curves around the earth, and that is why you are constantly in free fall, and the time, like there is an unlimited time of uh, like floating around. But since the vomit comet just does for like 11 or 12 kilometers, and the speed isn't so high enough, so you kind of feel about 30 to 40 seconds on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Sorry to give you another exam just after your last exam, but I wanted to get your thoughts on it. So moving on to other topics. Did you know that NASA is planning to send astronauts to the surface of the moon in 2024 for the first time since 1972?
Yeah, and I think uh, recently the current admin of the NASA, I think I saw his tweet stating it will be um, around 2023. It will be quite fast. But recently, I think yesterday or today, the news came that developing the spacesuit will take around like a much more time. So it will not be in 2024 also. I think the date will shift to 2025, because the ideal like about 420 million or billion dollars are spent, and another 625 million dollar still need to be spent to develop the ideal suit for that. So uh, the trial mission or the non or how can I say unmanned mission will be about 2023 or 2024, but the manned mission could go far to 2025 or 2026. And yeah.
Yeah, I saw that report yesterday, and that was really sad to see that the suits were there.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about us going back to the moon? Yeah.
Yeah. First, like first and foremost thing is that I will got to witness the history, because uh, like when I see the videos and see people watching the Apollo landing in sitcom, then I feel like I wish I could have been born at that time. But I also kind of feel, yeah, it's good, because those time we have World War and Cold War, so the survivability, like the chance that I can survive was quite less. So I think this is a pretty good time to witness it. And uh, like the moon landing after 1972 will bring a very, like, how can I say that, it will bring such a revolution in what human can pursue, because like those time we are just to show Soviet Unions that yeah, NASA is US is capable of sending it, and that and those, it was the time of showing power. But right now, if we are gonna go and to moon in 2024, that will really like how inspire the younger generations, and this will be for science, not for just power. And like we can collect so much data about what moon can hold. We will be a spacefaring civilization, and the most important thing that we are not just gonna go there and then return back to the command module and then come back to Earth, but we are gonna stay there. And so that will be a big, like just like Neil said, like it is a small leap for a man, but a giant leap for mankind. So, but yeah, that was a thing. But this time, this will be a giant leap for whole humanity. And with the data and the how can we survive on moon will really help us get the knowledge about how we are gonna survive in other planets, how we gonna build our infrastructure in moon or Mars. And like the, I am uh, like like we will gonna witness the sci-fi turning into a real life. So like everybody wished that like while watching movies like Marvel and other like Gravity or Martian, Mars, like Net Geo, we all wish that I think there could be someday, and that they like yeah, we could settle in there, we can raise family and that and those. But when NASA will put like start this mission of staying, then people will be like the dream of people will quite like it will come true that yeah, now I can say that yeah, what I witnessed in my uh, younger age, I can really experience those while by going and staying there. So I think that will be quite a fascinating thing and a quite important thing for humanity. And other thing could be like uh, the data. Yeah, the data of can humans sustain on another planet? Is there sustainability? Like we totally destroyed Earth. So how much? Like what can we learn from Earth and use that on moon, like moon and uh, like continue a human generation in a sustainable way. And the main question that everybody asks, is there life possible, and is there life on other planets? And moon will be a crucial thing for that, because recently Sophia discovered water molecules on moon. So if there's water, and then there is life, what because there are many predictions and scientists saying that like water is what keeps living thing what is kind of a harvester of living things. And since the discovery of uh, like water molecules on moon, people on Twitter and internet are going crazy about the possibility of what we are gonna get on moon. So there are plenty of things what we are gonna uh, get on moon, but I think I can't think of that those right now. But the major things will be sustainability, finding the evidence of life, uh, and uh, inspiring the younger generation, yeah, that there is a future of us living on another planet, and making humans spacefaring civilizations, and giving us hope that we can achieve more than what we can do today, because we are not just concise on this blue dot. We can go sustain on, go live on moon and then go beyond to Mars, because that is what our goal is, and that is what everyone wants, that get enough data, get enough resources from moon and scatter around the solar system and explore what the universe holds for us. Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's a really marvelous vision. So if it was safe and affordable, would you go to space?
definitely. Yeah, definitely. uh in like uh we can take example of Virgin Galactic and Blue Origin, right? They are just offering about 10 to 6 minutes in space, but like getting to see Earth from what we haven't, like what we have commonly seen, like getting to see Earth from a different perspective is what people always have. Like people has a natural tendency of like going to heights, not uh, like exploring what they haven't touched yet. So I think uh, every people wants that, and since the cost of going to space and a suborbital flight is quite high, but which is not like meant for us common people, despite of that, who can afford it, they are going to pay, and they are paying it. And like Blue Origin, I don't know about Blue Origin, but Virgin Galactic had like is getting a lot of reservations for the next flight. So those who have the money and the capital to reach the new heights and watching Earth and feeling the microgravity for like, despite like even if it's 6 or 10 minutes, they are going. And like just think about like they have the money, and like most of the people are celebrities and politicians who don't have that much time from like, and they are quite a busy in their own career, but they are also like uh, getting the time from their work life and going to a adventure journey where like, which is like when I think of this thing like, mm, it will not just transform your vision that what are we seeing right now. It will transform your, yeah, like if we see, okay, so people kind of absorb the thing, and they see that, yeah, like I can't think that. So like yeah, so everything, everyone here in Earth, they are kind of watching that, yeah, there's pollution, there are uh, poverty, and there like there's pollution, there are poverty, there are deforestation, air pollution, and those and this thing. But like everyone here is watching everyone doing the same thing, but if someone goes into space and watch the Earth from their own perspective and watching the whole globe in front of them, they will really think like, how lucky are we to stay in the place, in a home where it is possible for us to sustain, because they will be in a area where life cannot even sustain. They will the distance between the life and death between them will just be some millimeter of steel. And so they will feel like, if we can uh, do something to protect it, and like how can we make it uh, like a more sustainable and not destroy our Earth. And the footsteps and the campaigns that they will organize will can frame it. So where was I, is like this, the celebrities who got money and those things are definitely going to space, and the distance between, and when they are watching the Earth from above, So like they can see the beautiful nature, the beauty, the how Earth is being craved by land, ocean, and everything, and how greenish and bluish is it. And when they watch around them, then it's a pitch black. Nothing is there around. No oxygen, no source of any kind of life. Just a distance between some few millimeters from life and death. And will they will get to know the real value of living into Earth. And due to their fan following and due to their experiences, their campaigns will eventually lead us to aware every people not to destroy what like Earth is. And coming back to your question is like just the campaign, like if we are watching the vision of other, then we kind of don't feel that that's our vision, right? And when the space flight and constant thing will be in like affordable for common people, they will get the same in like the experience what they have got, and they will like people cannot be awed by other people. They will people will be awed by themselves, what they see, what they feel. So if the space becomes more affordable, then we can see a pretty huge change in what we are doing today compared to what we will do that time. So that will be a pretty drastic change when the space becomes kind of affordable for everyone.
Um,
Kind,
that
yeah.
that sounds really
I
good.
like I don't get into the main point. I like I want to say something, but I get around everything, and then after about 5 to 10 minutes, I will get to the point where what you need. So uh, I feel very embarrassed on that, but the like how I like how right now I'm getting a one-on-one session, and that is really reflecting me my weaknesses. And I think this will be really helpful for me to like really pick the things which I do and which I shouldn't do. So I really want to thank you for like getting a one-on-one session with me.
Well, I want to thank you. I'm looking to interview a person a day till the end of 2024 to get people's thoughts and views on humanity as we take those next steps onto another world. Um, well, that's pretty much all the questions I had. Did you have any questions or things you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, so is this like not related uh, this session like what is the purpose of this session?
The purpose of the session is to um, number one, create kind of like a time capsule, if you will. I have all these videos from all the different sessions I have on countdowntothemoon.org. And I think in 50 years, 100 years, people will look back at these videos and
Yeah,
be able to see what people were thinking before we started taking these steps into space again. Uh, I think number two, is a chance for me personally to explore and meet people and get to hear what their thoughts are. And
yeah.
so to help grow. And like you said, on these one-on-one sessions, it's good to find out what your strengths are and areas you can improve. So it's helpful from that perspective for me.
Yeah. And so like are you associated with any universities in US?
I'm not. I work for a software company. So during my day job, I do, IT type work. But as a hobby, I'm really interested into space. I have a, a, a club that I put together called the North Houston Space Society. We have monthly meetings and we invite guest speakers to come talk to us. And some of them are from universities and some are from industry and other places. I also, the Johnson Space Center is here in Houston. That's where mission control is. And that's where the astronauts do their training. And there's a facility right next to them called the Space Center Houston. So I volunteer there about once a month. But I have no direct connections to NASA or anything beyond that.
Yeah. So have you gone into like Vomit Comet as you described?
I have, yeah. I went. It was a company called Zero G, and
Yeah.
I can show you a video of us flying.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
I will be happy to watch that.
yeah. So let me find it real quick, but I think I have it sort of handy. Let's see.
So,
Oh, here we go.
like, yeah, how do you? Okay, once we are done with watching videos, I want to like I haven't been there, so that will be a like I've just got the views and the experience from YouTube videos of YouTubers like like Veritasium, and then the physics call and those people. So that will be really great thing for me to like really get your experience. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think this is me right here. And then
Oh,
this is my older son, and I can't tell which one's my younger son from this view, but when they no, that's my younger son. That's me in the back. This is me. Okay, cool.
that's quite a lot of people right there.
It is, yeah. And plus they weren't full even. This is with fewer people. That's my son right there. And this is me.
So, how many minutes is the total flight time, like from beginning to the end?
Total flight time, I think it's about an hour or two. Basically, um, you have to fly to a place where you have plenty of space from other airplanes. And
Mhm.
so it takes you some time to get to that space. And then, maybe it takes, 5-10 minutes to get up to the altitude. And then you're talking about, 30-40 seconds to fly, to experience free fall. So we did like 15 parabolas. So I think, whenever you do 15 parabolas, each one maybe is like 5 minutes total. I mean, that's like an hour and a half right there. So
So, like, it might be like I heard that the price tag is quite high. It is like 25K or like 250K. So, can you?
yeah, so for the zero G experience, it's around $5,000.
Oh, 5,000.
Yeah.
And so, like, as you said that you volunteered in the uh, Johnson Johnson Space, Kennedy Space, sorry, Houston, right?
So Johnson Space Center, but it's actually Space Center Houston. It's associated with Johnson Space Center, but it's a separate nonprofit organization that is like runs their visitor center for them. So when people come and visit, they have all the displays set up, and then they invite astronauts to come talk, and they have activities for people and that type of thing.
So, not like it's not the NASA office; it's just a replica of that, right?
Oh, well, it's right next to the
Like
NASA
the
office,
like
and then you get to go on
uh,
tours of the NASA office. So I mean, it is right next to NASA. It has the real spaceships in it. It's associated with the NASA office, and you get to go on tours of the NASA facilities, the real NASA facilities, through them. So
and did you see Space Shuttle?
a space hotel.
Can you hear me? Yes,
Uh,
space shuttle.
oh, the space shuttle.
Yeah.
I've seen. I've never seen it launch. I've seen it on the launch pad. I've seen it in a museum, but I've never actually seen it in person launch. I missed that.
uh, I think the Houston is quite famous because like if there is any kind of problem, then they like just in Apollo 13, there's a quite a it is like a historic line and quite a distressing because Houston we have a problem is that that this is the line that nobody wants to listen because that really nerve wracking and like being in Nepal and talking to a uh, like a like talking to you who has experienced all that it kind of like it is really like kind of bringing me the like curiosity to like uh, let's go and visit one day. So for that like the the $1 is like one USD is about 140 Nepalese currency. So I think I have to quite earn like a few a lot to really go there and watch like and get the experience. But the experience that you have shared is like it really relates with me because like as you like you are passionate and like it's your hobby about this space and so the same thing like is with me and so I can really relate with you but uh, due to lack of the resources and lack of like uh, kind of conditions, the economic condition of Nepal and the how can the financial condition too, that really bounds us Nepalese to really explore what we can do it. So like here in Nepal, we also have quite a lot of uh, uh, organizations which are currently working to increase the like get a build a community of like astronomy enthusiasts. So like there is a NASO, Nepal Astronomical Society, which is currently working here for about 8 to 13 years, and there is SETS Nepal. So it's the okay, it's the chapter of SETS USA, which is currently handled in Nepal, and I like I feel like no. Uh, and like since like I am a like pretty interested in astronomy, so I have done a lot of things. Like I have joined NASO as a junior member. Then like I have gone into every organization where I can find the like-minded people and get to share my experience because when we talk about like astronomy with some people who really are keen about that, it really feels like I can go in it forever. So I try joining every seminars, everything that's related to astronomy, and due to which like it really propelled me to join clubs like and chapter like an organization like SITS Nepal, where I'm working as a entrepreneurship officer. It means like it is I am like interested in entrepreneurship too, and when I connect it to like astronomy, so that is why I went to pursue like I went to become a entrepreneurship officer, and at the same moment I also work in the research committee of SITS Nepal, where I am currently researching on microgravity, and like SITS Nepal is currently doing rocketry thing. Uh, I guess about a year ago, SITS Nepal launched rocket from Nepal, which is like it was the first rocket because the satellite that was carried like the Nepal Sat one was or like um, was launched by NASA. But here in SITS Nepal, we are trying to become a space industry where we can rely on our own rockets to do that. So the work is currently in progress, and SITS Nepal is currently building a sounding rocket, and it has launched one previous year, and recently about a month ago it launched a second one, which was quantum. It was named quantum, and then it is also like we are also working on like developing a third iteration of that rocket, and increasing the range and the uh, experiments that we can conduct, and like and in Sits Nepal we are like about after a month or two we are gonna launch of like weather balloon, where we are gonna launch 3 CanSat for measuring the pressure, temperature of what like stratosphere holds, and then other experiments that we are currently planning on. And so like there is interest in astronomy in Nepal, but the main thing which we lack is funding and the awareness of government toward it. Like we all are doing by our own. We are crowdsourcing it. Either we are like managing by our own money and doing stuff from our own. So that really slows down our process, and like so what people here in Nepal think, like what I also think is like there isn't a proper knowledge like career in Nepal as an in astronomy. So people of Nepal kind of flee to US to settle in there or like do stuffs in those area, because if there is any government interest, then I think Nepal could be one of the small country which is working on like sending small sats and nanosats to space. And but I think the work is currently going on that we are doing this thing. I think this will bring the interest of government officials toward ourselves, and I think that will increase our funding and all. And with that, we have another organization known as AEN, Astronomy Enthusiast Nepal, which is a non-profit, and where there is a huge community, and where I felt like yeah, this is really a like Nepal astronomic people, like because I haven't seen so much people interested in astronomy, because what I have thought was there are just few people who are really interested in astronomy, and when I got to see, then there were about 100 to 200 people just in this organization. So I think that what impressed me, and that what really made me believe that yeah, if we will do some work in this field, then we can do something great in that. And I think there is a global star party being held in US. There is an organization which organization like organizes global star party, and we are getting like the AEN is really getting support from there, like like things like telescopes and mentorship. So that is the thing that we are fortunate about. But it really feels like another like US is like helping us, but not the Nepalese government itself. So kind of feel shame on us. Can you wait for a minute? I got a like on
Sure
got a
thing.
light. Yeah, there's a light problem because it's evening and the it's dimming. Yeah,
Yeah, the light's a lot better now.
yeah, it's good now, right? So yeah, that was the theme that like that was the condition of Nepal from my perspective. And so like I want to ask you one thing, that if when you um, hear the name Nepal, what comes in your mind?
I think of a island, but I don't think that's right, is it? Nepal. I think of something like Oriental, kind of like Thailand. Uh, that's kind of in my mind.
Okay.
I think my geography needs to be improved. That's
like Nepal is a landlocked country between China and India, and it is really famous for its peak, the Mount Everest, which is the highest mountain in all over the world. And but the corruption is pretty high, and in spite of having so much thing in Nepal, we can't even generate so much revenue, which will like be helpful for us. Like there is a huge potential of, like, even if Nepal produces its own electricity and distribute in all over Asia, then whole Asia will be lighten up with just Nepal's electricity, the Nepal's potential. But we are even not, like, we haven't approached the half capability of Nepal's hydroelectricity. So kind of feel like when you are you, like, it feels like when you are in a country with a lot of potential but the government cannot do anything, it kind of feel ashamed at the same moment, and like kind of hate the country in spite of not the fault of the country, it's just the fault of the government. But kind of feels like, yeah, the country isn't that good enough to be here, because like if someone in organization like I talked about NASU, so it really uh, kind of pushed like we really do awareness about the research opportunities in Nepal, but our fundings from the government is less than 1%. It's like 0.014, I think it was last year. So, and most of the funding goes to the government research on, like there's an observatory in Nepal, but no one uses it. Not the gates are closed, not in operation, nothing. But most of the funding that we get goes into that. So kind of misplacement of the funding and all. And yeah, that's all what I have to say. And yeah, so I am doing an internship uh, about lunar resource experiment. So like how, like what kind of experiment we can do in like the institute. Yeah, it is the institute lunar resource experiment. So like we focus on how, like what are the experiment that we can do on the lunar surface. So uh, I would really appreciate if you could help us in that, because like you are into moon and lunar things. So if there's any kind of problem or any kind of thing that I like, I will feel, yeah, I think I need some help, then I would really appreciate if you could help us in that.
Yeah, I'm happy to do what I can. So
Yeah,
maybe also the North Houston Space Society chapter that I have, maybe there's people there also that can help. Yeah, let's connect via email and LinkedIn and everything
yeah,
else, and
sure.
stay in contact and try to see how we might support you.
Yeah, that will be really awesome, because like I'm not seeking for continuous help. It's just like if we stumble up in a problem that we cannot get the solution of, then I like, then that will be a great time to approach you, because that is the time that we will need some mentors and some solutions from you. And I'm not asking for you full time, I'm just asking for, like, if there's any kind of problem that we come up on, that will really help like discussing it with you.
Yeah, if I can help, I'll help. If I know somebody else that can help, I'll get you in contact with them.
Yeah,
So we can figure something out.
yeah. So I think you might have some other work, so
Hey,
I'll,
unfortunately, this is true, but it was such a pleasure to meet you, and
yeah,
thank you so much.
yeah, yeah, it was like I can't really express my experience what I had, because I really took a lot of things from this uh, 101 session, because like the session really kind of helped me to share my experience, like share my thoughts and ideas, which like my peers, like I don't have, like in Nepal, like there are hardly some connection between this kind of same interest, and we kind of are into coursework and all those things, where we forgot to like really discuss upon those things. And this was the great time for me to really express what I think, and really get to know a person like who is really interested in astronomy and those things. So it was really my pleasure to meet you.
Well, thank you so much. Well,
Yeah,
I hope you have a good night, and I hope to stay in touch.
yeah. I will look forward to be in your talks. So I will provide my email here. So I think we can connect with that. Okay,
Okay,
that.
let me write that down. Good deal. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you have a good night.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.